Allison Hazlitt with Flick Direct, and we're here at New York City Comic Con, and I am talking to Mathieu Cote, who is the designer of Death by Daylight, one of the great video games. So we're just going to talk a little bit about some of the updates to it a little bit. Hi Mathieu, how are you?
Hi, I'm very good, thank you very much. It's bright and early in the morning for New York Comic Con. Today's going to be crazy.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I'm very excited. We got some really cool stuff to talk about for the game. The game's been out for a while now, but the last thing we brought into the game was Leatherface, which was extremely exciting for us.
Tell me what's some of the other characters that are already there.
So, since the beginning, we decided to create our own fiction, our own world there. So we brought in a lot of killers and survivors, because the game is asymmetrical. It's one killer chasing down 4 other players playing survivors who are trying to just escape from this nightmare. Quite a lot of fun, unfair game, absolutely. From the start, the killers are way too strong, and the survivors can never go on the offensive. They're just trying to get out.
They're just, okay.
But they need to cooperate, but since you're working with strangers, you don't always know if you trust them, or, you know, it's always about, you don't need to outrun the killer, you just need to outrun your friends, you know? So in the end, cooperation will only take you so far. Through the last year and a half we've been out on PC, we've added a bunch of different killers on our own. Last year we were here at Comic-Con to talk about the brand new edition, which was Halloween, so we had Michael Myers join the team with Laurie Strode. Obviously the last girl, the one who makes it out alive. It's very exciting for us to bring in these staples, some like iconic characters. You can't get much more iconic than Michael Myers. But this year we were able to bring in Leatherface, and he's a perfect addition to the roster.
Why Leatherface? Why did you actively pursue?
Yeah, so we tend to talk to a few license holders, people who have different catalogs of things. And Leatherface has always been, I mean, if you look at let's say the top 5 horror villains of all time, he's definitely on that list. And so he was always one that we wanted to do. So as soon as we got an opportunity, we found someone that was interested, we talked with, and they actually were the people managing the rights to the original 1974 movie, which was exactly what we wanted, and we went for it.
So looking at some of these pictures, I don't know if you can see that, it's so intricate, all the work. How much goes into that and the detail?
Quite a lot, yeah, quite a lot. So these are beauty shots, marketing shots, but they are based off of our in-game characters. Okay. Exactly, they're the characters that we use to do that, and there's quite a lot of research that goes into creating those characters, whether it's someone like Leatherface or Michael Myers, who are established characters that we need to replicate and be as true as possible to what they are, whether it's our own characters like these guys that we created from scratch, or in this case very influenced by folklore from Russian, Eastern European countries, and we spend a lot of time trying to, you know, we need to have a good inventing something that people have not seen, and yet going to dig into the archetypes of what scares people. You know, what keeps you up at night, what are the stories that kids tell each other and scream around a campfire. This is what we want to tap into.
So for someone who's not a gamer, what's the appeal of this?
Well, there's 2 sides, and that's because we built essentially 2 games side by side. Okay. And some people play both sides and some only play one. So if you've ever wanted to play the villain, this is perfect. Because yes, you can play as Leatherface, Michael Myers, or any of the other people that we've created, those horrible nightmare incarnations, and you can chase the best AI out there, which is other people. You can be one step ahead and catch them, and it's so much fun to be the predator and really play with your food and taunt them. And then on the other side, you can play as the survivors, who are essentially normal people that are just caught in an impossible situation, like every single horror movie you've seen, where you scream at the screen going, "You should have done this, if you stick together you'll be fine." All of these things you can now try to put into practice. And most of the time as a survivor, when you fail, when you get caught, it's because you made a mistake. It's because you panicked, you didn't stick to the plan, you decided to do something else, and you got caught. So it's really those two, the dynamic between those two it's what makes Dead by Daylight such a fun game.
Let's talk a little bit about you. How did you get involved in all of this?
Well, I've been in the video game industry for many years now, almost 15 years now. I was at Behavior, and Behavior as a company has always mostly made games for other people. It's a company that does work for hire, licenses for other people. But every once in a while, through the 25 years of the company, we've had inklings, moments when we like, let's try to do our own thing. And we've done that a few times with moderate success, but it's always something that kept coming back. And the idea of playing the villain is something that we've kicked around for probably 10 years. And 2.5 years ago, we hit upon a prototype. Just some people messing about with very simple shapes, just a basic prototype of gameplay. And we did something that was essentially hide and seek. Like every kid in the world has played at some point. It's you and a friend running around, and you try not to get caught, and if you get caught, it's over.
Right.
It's done. Which usually in video games, it's never that binary. If you get caught, there's a battle, you lose some hit points, blah, blah, blah. No, in this case, you get caught, dead, that's over.
Okay.
And that created such super tense moments. I was like, oh, I think we got something there. And maybe that's the time to bring back our old idea of doing the villain thing. So when we brought those two things together, like the influence of the 80s slashers and things like that, in the hide and seek mechanic, we really felt like we had something. So we developed the game. I was part of the prototyping team at the beginning. There was like 3-4 of us. Then we grew to maybe 10 people, just to try to put something together that would really showcase what the game could be, with a few ideas of what the art style could be like. And we took that on the road. We showed it to a few potential partners, people who would be interested in investing, maybe publishing it for us. And we hit upon who are now our good friends at Starbreeze, a Swedish developer now becoming a publisher.
Okay.
And we essentially had their help to promote this game and take it to the world. And it blew up way bigger than we ever thought it would. We thought it would be a small thing. We're over 3 million copies sold, all platforms together right now.
Wow.
We've been going for about 1.5 years, and there's never been more people playing the game than there are now. So, yeah, we're not done.
Yeah.
We're going to keep churning out new stuff for this.
So that's my next question. What's next for Death by Daylight?
Well, we have a lot of stories to tell, our own stories, but we do also have a few special guests that we hope to bring to the game. So that might happen.
Spoilers.
Yeah. Now that the game is also out on console, so people can play it on PS4 or Xbox One, I mean, it's just going to keep growing. We're going to get more people in, and we're going to keep improving the game on our side.
Fantastic. Mathieu, thank you so much for talking with me. I appreciate it.
It was my pleasure.
Thanks.